Welcome back to another video, everyone, and I hope everyone's having a great day. So this is the first video that we are doing in the new headquarters in the garage, and we're working on my 2001 Ram 3500. We're going to be doing a rock light install. So I'm going to flip you guys around and show you what's going on. So a company reached out to me called Loyo, and all their information is down in the description below, and they wanted to go ahead and send me out a set of fog lights. Turns out we had the wrong year, weren't compatible, but he said, hey, you know what? Send you a pair of rock lights out, and you can go ahead and install them and see what you think and go ahead and make a video on them. So that's what I'm gonna go do today. Kind of a milestone for me because first company to reach out to do anything like this. And that seems like pretty cool. So pretty much got the box. That's what it looks like right here. Nothing too crazy. It's apparently the waterproof, and as I said, RGB, which means red, green, blue, W, also for white. So you can see I have different LEDs up in there. This is an example of one of the rock lights. So what it comes with, you get your controller right here. And this is going to go somewhere central in the truck. I believe this is for the Bluetooth, which goes to your phone. And then you have your positive and negative wires right here. This is an example of one of the lights. Everything else is still boxed up. So it seems to be pretty good quality. And then they have waterproof connectors and whatnot. And then they also sent out 2 extensions. So I'm not quite sure how the extensions are going to work just yet. Initially, I had specified that I needed 2 because I just was assuming, I didn't know this, that each controller, like all 3 lights, would link into one central harness, and it would run 1 wire per wheel well back to the controller. Turns out it's 1 wire per light to the controller. So this may or may not work, we'll find out, but I'm hoping I can locate this thing centrally enough in the truck that it's not gonna be a big deal. It is waterproof, so I can have it underneath, which is what I plan on doing. And it comes with these little adapter pieces right here. So I believe there is 2 styles. One has a curvature to it and one is flat. And we're gonna pretty much just be mounting these up on my truck and put one, I believe it's 3 per wheel well. So we're gonna do 1 here, 1 on the top, and 1 on the back. Now, usually rock lights are more of an off-road thing. However, for a practical application for a vehicle like this would 100% be, especially when towing, if you have a flat tire, especially at night, you'll be able to see, change everything you need to do. If you have a problem, you can again see inside your truck wheel wells what's going on. Usually the darkest place at night. Now for me, I plan on getting wheels and tires hopefully pretty soon here. And I think that's gonna set them off real nice. I'm planning on just sticking with the white. I'll show off the RGB effect, but I'm planning on just running the white, stick with the LEDs, kind of the clean form this truck has. Well, as clean as a 2001 Ram 3500 can get. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this install. All right, so I think first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually just plug in one of these lights and just touch this to the battery and make sure everything works before we go ahead and go full send on installing everything, because that'd be kind of awkward. And we can also get an idea of what this thing looks like. All right, so step 1, I gotta go ahead and get the app. All it is, you scan the QR code right there, and then you can go ahead and get the app. So I'm gonna go and install that real quick. And then I did plug it in, it is working. However, I need to go ahead and get the app installed, blind myself, and go ahead and get the lights figured out. All right, so I decided to go ahead and start on the driver's side. I need to test them, they do seem to work just fine. And ran into my first little irritation to the Dodge 2001 3500. Looks like they use plastic rivets, which suck because that means I gotta get a push pin kit to replace these things. Pretty much they're one-time use. You basically have to pop off the head, and then the underside will pop off, kind of like an actual rivet. Basically drilling it out, or in my case, using a pair of pliers. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, that's all from, I believe it's from tire shine over spray. In all honesty, I cleaned this thing up a little while ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off all little, I'm gonna go ahead and pop off the plastic rivets, remove the inner wheel liner. We're gonna go ahead and install our rock lights where we want them, zip tie everything so the cables kind of flow, you know, nicely down there. This is the app, by the way. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and put the liner back in and get some push clips and basically, you know, pop all these things in. There's a couple of them missing right there and everything, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out. I'll show you when it's out, and we'll pop in our lights. Pop off the last one, so, nope, just kidding, we got one more. Pop this guy off. I'm just taking a pair of pliers like I was saying. Oh, there it is. I'm just popping off the heads. Once the heads come off, go ahead and pop in the underside. Actually, this seems to be a normal push. Oh, nope, never mind. Yeah, no. So this kind of looks like on the back side, but you just push these guys, push them in to get them out of the way, or maybe you can get them pop out. I might not be able to all the way deployed. Let's see if I can get this thing to pop out. I have no idea where that thing went, so it's gone. But yep, fender liner comes on out next. So that's what we got. You just have a pretty nasty power steering leak, which is what all this crap is from. And then you can see right in the side of the motor in there. So kind of neat, but we're not here to look at the motor. Next up, let's go ahead and get our lights situated. Kind of figure out where we want to put these in. We'll just put it about the center, so right about there. I think that'll be good. Let's go ahead and pop our first hole in here. There, roughly. That hole is going to be for our wire to feed through. Try next size up. There we go. Feed this guy all the way through. Just going to feed one through. Alright, there we go. So on the back side, we have it looking like this. Go ahead and drop our washers over top. And I have trust issues with just washers, so I'm also going to be putting some blue Loctite on here because I've had this stuff not work out on me in the past. Real disappointed if this was one of those cases. This is somewhat tiny hardware. Let me just go ahead and hold this guy at the bottom side here and just tighten it up. Same thing on this side. Because it is rubber, it's not going to get crazy tight on you. So you just need it to be, you know, pretty snug. Kind of part of the reason for the Loctite. And there we have it. Not going anywhere. Definitely nice and squished in there. So all we got to do is get our other two on there. Should be good. So I went ahead and popped all the wheel lights in there. As you can see, they're right there, 1, 2, and 3. And then my plan is to run the wires. Basically, I have them zip tied. One zip tie here, and then running down to this little cluster right there. And I don't know if you can tell really easily. Let me get under the truck. But the plan is to go ahead and have them come out over here and kind of follow this wire harness. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be in the inside or the outside of the frame rail yet, but I'm thinking a central location for the actual controller box. It's probably gonna either be right here or on the opposite side, but well, I mean, that's not true. We'll see where the frame, I'm undecided on where that's gonna go just yet. But what we're gonna go and do is basically just run these wires along here after we get this guy mounted back up. All right, got the driver's side back in. You guys can see they're right there. Wires still hanging out. I haven't run them yet. I'm gonna do the passenger side next. The pins I decided to pick up were just because they're quantity and they're cheap. These guys right here, if you're curious, they fit. And I think these are actually interior body pins. I didn't notice these guys sticking out, but honestly, I don't care. They did get the job done, so pulled out our next 3. And we're gonna go ahead and get this one out and back in. Got her good to go. All right, passenger side is now in. 1, 2, and 3. Have my cable dropped out the back here as well, same on the other side. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna pretty much just run these down along here. I gotta keep these on the outside of the frame rail because I got my exhaust right there. So probably like up on top of here or something. Went over and hopped over to the driver's rear dually now and went ahead and popped out. I kind of pre-drilled my holes before taking out everything because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted these rear lights. Putting one here, one right there, and then the top panel, basically you gotta pop out a bunch of screws, and there's a couple that are hard to find. These 3 are actually, this goes like this up in there, and the screws actually are facing this way, so you got to pull them out that way. But they're a I think it's a T30, T25, something like that. But they're out now, and let's go ahead and get our next set in. All right, and the rock lights and driver's side rear are on. So I went ahead and ran the wires just up and around, and oops, looks like I missed this guy right here, but I'll show you what I've been doing. Should have done this last time, but oops, dropped my bit. But now that's on. Wires are going to come basically down to that corner and go in toward the frame rail over there. So I'm going to go ahead and run the wires kind of a little bit where I want them, and then I'll show you guys the wire running when it's all said and done. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to route it. All right, so I think we got them working. A significantly much more time has passed than I intended. And all we're doing right now is pretty much, I just have a wire run from the battery down to the controller. Just gonna walk around and see if everything's working like it's supposed to. And looks like it is. Honestly, there's really no good tutorial for how to do, that's interesting. How to do the color, or the wire running. You just kind of got to figure it out. So I have it on white right now. And Oh, I see. Some of these, I think I actually got the cable hooked up slightly wrong. Because I'm clicking yellow and that one's red, click pink, that's pink, but blue is blue. So, I think I gotta recheck my cabling. But the app is interesting. I'm not really sure if it's using Bluetooth. It's not actually directly connected to anything. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but hit that guy real quick. It scans, and then you can adjust your brightness and whatnot. I have it on white right now. That's the color I intend to run. Because it's the way these work, red, green, blue, all of them are on for white. That's my dog right there. So you do get a little bit of an aftershade of different color in there, which is kind of interesting. So you can see the edge of the green, even though it's actually supposed to be running white right now. But there we have it. So brightness is up all the way. Not too shabby. Red. That was pretty dope. Actually, I'm okay. I wasn't super sold on the whole color deal, but I can kind of get through it. Then you can do your particular tones. It's more of a bluish teal color. So that's interesting. I think I did mess up one of the cable connectors on the one side. I got to readjust that one. But, well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But there we have it. So, I'm trying to think of this one. I think it's just, that might have been, there was one that I was messing around with, which I think I may have overheated a little bit and, you know, kind of killed one. But there you go. It kind of hurts to directly look at, but from a distance, not too shabby. So I'm gonna go get the wiring figured out. I was trying to run a switch in there, but the switch I bought was too weak. So it was not letting all the power transmit, giving me some problems. So we're not gonna run the switch. Actually, that was the other thing I need to figure out. So can I turn this sucker off? I don't actually know how to do that. There we go, power. Oh, okay, sweet, so there's a power button. On, off, and then the other thing I need to figure out, so if I turn it off, disconnect from power, does it memorize that it's been disconnected from power, and does it stay off? All right. When it gets power, it flashes, and I guess it remembers that it was turned off, so that's cool. All right, so let me go ahead and give you guys a wiring tour of how I pretty much ran everything and where the controller is and all that stuff. So power wire, I just finished running up to the battery here. I decided to do a direct connection. Obviously, you can see the lights are not on. And that is because as soon as the controller is within range, I don't know if it uses IR or what, I really don't know. It doesn't have a Bluetooth connection, so it's gotta be, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So anyway, controller, when it comes within range, I was at the end of the driveway, it wasn't working, and about halfway up it started working. So it does have a limited range to it, as you can see. Well, as I saw, I don't know if you guys saw, but so I ran power wire directly to the battery just to keep things simple. And pretty much all of the wires I converged on this side and put the controller right there. So it's just zip tied in right now. I don't know exactly how I want to permanently get this in here. For right now, I just need the zip ties to pull it taut because of my particular wiring situation, which I'll show you in a minute. So basically, I hooked everything up and then pulled the wires tight again. So my ground is right there on the side of the frame rail. And then my power wire is right next to it, and that runs up to the battery. Let's go ahead and pull the light under here so we can see what's going on. And pretty much from that corner, so those three wires go just above the drive shaft and come here. Those go to that side, and then same thing going on back that way. You can see those go to that corner, and then same thing on the other side. So the only thing I gotta be careful of is to make sure I don't hit the drive shaft. Right now I have about 1 inch clearance. I need to figure out something that I can maybe actually that might work. I might be able to actually self-tap a screw into there and then just pull these up. That would actually work. I didn't think about that. I'm gonna go do that before I finish off this whole thing. I just need these not hit the drive shaft, obviously, and this is the exhaust. However, it's such a fat exhaust, it really doesn't get that hot. There's actually a direct contact piece of rubber on it, and it's barely melted at all. Long story, go check out the tubular K-member install if you're curious about how that works, tubular transmission cross member. Aside from a bunch of drilling and a bunch of screws, you can see my wires running up on the back side of the dually wheel up there. And then, like I said, it's the same thing on the other side. So actually I'm missing a ground right there. Just notice that whatever bed ground is supposed to be there, definitely missing. So all in all, not too bad. Just a lot of routing wires. But this is why I was saying, like, you really can't use my video or what I did exactly. You kind of just got to work with what your truck offers you. And obviously you can see down here it's kind of a nightmare. It's one of those things where I just don't look down here often, and hasn't broken yet. Definitely have oil leaks and whatnot, but if you follow the channel, you know all about those. So let's go ahead and pull this sucker out. I'm gonna wire up that last the last guy up there so I don't have any stuff in the drive shaft, and then we'll go ahead and check out how this thing looks. I'm pretty excited, actually. This is coming out, honestly, kind of better than I expected. So there you have it. Not much sounds better than a good old 24 valve Cummins. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out what color. Let me know what color you guys like best on this thing. Green, blue. Yellow, purple. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty sick. Definitely probably not on all the time type of thing, but definitely looks pretty sweet. Rolling down the road, I dig it. I get the appeal. So I'm gonna wind up leaving it on white most of the time. And there we have it. Because that one's a little messed up, it's a little bit purple. But for the most part, I mean, it's not too bad. So purple don't look that bad either. White and purple, I can dig that too. I think red is probably gonna be my go-to though for trying to be weird. So, pretty sick, guys. Definitely pretty sick. All right, so that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. Let me go ahead and turn these things off. So like I was saying, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Also, now that we finally got a garage in here and we get to, you know, work in an actual workspace, pretty happy with that. Definitely pretty nice. So got everything set up about the way I want it. Still got to clean some stuff up. The old Shelby badge right there. We got to get the actual Shelby. Shelby's gonna live right here unless we're doing something else. But I mean, that's about it. So like I was saying, I hope you enjoyed the video. Everything is in the description down below if you want to check out the company that sponsored this. They're down there as well, and everything else. So I'll see you guys next video. Take it easy. Let me know what you want to see on the truck or on the Mustang, and I'll try and get it done for you guys. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next video.